Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are joining me here over at Marvel's Snap Zone. Welcome back for another community deck highlight video where we showcase to you some of the cool things you can be doing on the ladder while you're grinding cubes in Marvel Snap. Today's submission comes from our community deck builder over at marvelsnapzone.com from a user called Seninha, if I'm not butchering that completely horribly. This is a Pool 2 deck based on utilizing the power of both Kazoo and Sandman, a card you'll pick up in Pool 2 that has varying applications moving forward. We're looking to leverage that synergy by smashing these two decks together. Excuse me. If you're looking to submit a deck yourself, you want to see something you've made show up on our community deck highlights here on YouTube, you can do it in one of three ways. You can build decks in our community deck builder over at marvelsnapzone.com. I look at that pool of decks nearly every single day to pick out things I think look particularly interesting to show to people that might enjoy them themselves over here on YouTube. Alternatively, come and join us in our community Discord. We've got over 1,000 active users down there talking about everything Marvel Snap, and you could submit your decks to us down there too. I take a peek when I get the chance. Last but not least, come and tag us on Twitter at Marvel Snap Zone. Show us your deck list. Let us know what it is you're doing and how well you're doing with them. And maybe we'll feature what you're up to over here in a community deck highlight as well. If you haven't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel, press that button for us, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and make sure you don't miss out on any more of our premium Marvel Snap content over here on YouTube. With all that said and done, let's take a look at this creation of Sand Going by Seninha. So this one, as I say, kind of an amalgamation of two known archetypes. Kazoo, kind of well known based on ka-zar here. A 4-power, 4-cost card that gives all your 1-cost cards an extra additional power. Unsurprisingly, playing a card like this, we play it next to all kinds of sweet 1-drops that get all kinds of bonuses from it. We're playing this alongside Blue Marvel here, a way for us to get additional power on all of our cards, not just our 1-drops. And this time we're playing it next to Spectrum. And now, the reason we've chose to go the Spectrum route might become a little bit apparent a little bit later, but this one going to give ongoing cards plus 2 power, which is a very powerful universal effect if you have plenty of ongoing cards, which many of our 1-drops and Captain Blue Marvel, I should say, is too, which is kind of great. Now, Sandman here, also an ongoing card, and definitely the force behind the amalgamation of this deck. Sandman, a very powerful Pool 2 card you'll learn to love moving forward in Pool 3. Players can only play 1 card a turn. Now, why would I want to do that with all of my 1-cost cards, you might ask? They'll get stuck in my hand. I can't do anything with them. Well, the truth is, the plan here is to fill the board with cheap 1-cost cards, maybe even Angela being boosted by those 1-cost cards, get Sandman on the table on turn 4, and then just play anthems and cards that play to more than one location so that you have the ability to outstack your opponent over the course of those turns. That's why you see Claw here as well as another powerful ongoing card that plays to 2 locations alongside this absolute slew of 1-drops. A lot of these you're going to be very familiar with, but we'll highlight the most important ones here. Ant-Man, of course, best 1-drop in Pool 1 by the opinions of many. Great ongoing ability, which is super relevant here too. Ebony Maw, ongoing and the highest single stat rate on a 1-drop with a serious downside, mind you. The one I find the most interesting here maybe is Hawkeye. I'm not entirely sure why this is in the deck, if I'm completely honest. Maybe we're just looking for even more early stats where possible to make sure we've locked up those locations before Sandman comes down. But this one, definitely an unusual choice. Looking forward to giving this one a spin myself. Let's see whether or not this interesting take on Kazoo, trying to build around Sandman and Spectrum, has what it takes to hang on the Marvel Snap ladder. Okay, so we find Spectrum and Sandman early. That's kind of interesting. Gonna get Nightcrawler down just in a non-Halla zone here. I can always move it over later if I need to. Well, I don't want to feel priced into moving it if my opponent tries to blow it up. Nightcrawler center seems fine. Let's see what our second location of the game is. Titan, gonna make that Spectrum even cheaper. Okay, somehow we have no play on turn 2, which seems kind of hard for a deck like this, honestly. Alright, so just Korg. Just Korg is going to have to be good enough. Kick a rock somewhere over there. See if we can't draw some cards from Asgard at some point. Naked Wolfsbane into Halla is a somewhat unusual choice. I think I need to not go for Sandman this game. Ka-zar feels more important, and I need to be able to play more one-drops as I draw them, just because of how clunky our early start was. So, Ka-zar into Asgard. Let's see if we can't draw some cards from this. Definitely an ongoing ability in play early for our Spectrum 2. So, opponent will Jubilee mid. Let's see what they find off the flip. Jane Foster. Okay, so all of their zeros now going to be in their hand, courtesy of Jane Foster. We'll draw 2 cards. We find Blue Marvel and Angela. Okay, definitely a little clogged up this game. What do we got here? Okay, let's get some juice. Let's try and... Ooh, where are we... I guess we're going to try and challenge Hala here now that it's safe. Let's do that. Squirrel Girl obviously quite good here with Ka-zar as well. So let's just dump bodies. See if we can't have Blue Marvel or Spectrum carry us on the final turn of the game. Devil Dino into Hala is really quite problematic. Didn't want to see that one. Not in a location we were actively trying to fight for. Okay, now the question is, where does our stuff go? Hawkeye's another body here that's going to provide stats. We'll take that. Do we give up Titan? Is that the plan? I feel like this is probably Blue Marvel Hawkeye here. Because Spectrum only gives a bonus to Ant-Man and Ka-zar, which is not going to be enough. Adds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 power. Maybe we can beat the Dino. Seems a little risky. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to move this Nightcrawler over for the most stats in Asgard. Alright, cross your fingers, boys and girls. Is Blue Marvel going to be enough to take down a Dino when they've played a few cards out on the final turn of the game? Not sure. Well, I think an Iron Man probably says no to that equation, unfortunately. Guess we should have played mid. Ugh. I think we beat a lot of other things there. Maybe I'm just supposed to play mid with the Blue Marvel, but I think we beat a lot of things that aren't Iron Man. And we should probably know there's a good chance there's an Iron Man in their hand, thanks to how slow their start was here. Bit of a rough one. Maybe we could have played that a bit better. Hawkeye looking a little awkward as the one drop of choice on the final turn of the game. See if we can't run a little teeny bit better in this second one. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we have some decent one drops this time. That's always reassuring. Like to lead on Ant-Man into a location that it's safe in where possible. Daily Bugle, what do we get? We get a copy of Forge. Okay. So slightly earlier Hawkeye this time. That might be a bit better than last time. We can definitely play it somewhere this turn. The little shooting star effects here are kind of cool. I think we're just going to play out this Nightcrawler again. We can always move it later if we need to. Project Pegasus. Okay, Juice of Energy. Well, Blue Marvel definitely getting played this turn. Can't quite do both Ka-zar and Blue Marvel. But I can do Forge into Blue Marvel, getting a bonus in the middle here into Squirrel Girl. That's probably pretty good. This Ka-zar's going to offer us quite a lot of stats too. Blue Marvel. Definitely got a good chunk of juice here. We're soft as hell to a Killmonger though. Okay, opponent looking to do some moving. Doctor Strange moving Kraven is not normally how that's supposed to work. Oh, okay. Interesting. Pretty decent turn 4 ka-zar here. I think we're going to go with it into the Monster Metropolis. Seems good. Spectrum, a great pickup here too. We're going to get to juice up this board on the final turn of the game as well. Cloak mid. Okay, so opponent's going to have the chance to move some stuff around. Nothing we're super worried about being moved right now. Cloak gets kicked into the Monster Metropolis, which is also fine. Angela at this point, largely redundant, I think. Good chance we're going to move this Squirrel Girl over, so we can play Angela here and look to play Spectrum here and get a little bit extra on the Angela for our troubles. Miles Morales Moon Girl, okay. I think we're going to be good here, so I am going to get this cheeky snap in. And get some juice in with Spectrum. See if our opponent wants to continue for more cubes. I do think we're pretty solid here. Kind of challenging for all three of these locations, courtesy of Spectrum in a spot like this. They're thinking about it. Okay, what's the final turn play for our opponent? It is America Chavez mid, which means we are good. We are locking up 2 locations and taking our 4 cubes. Nice stuff. Hawkeye looking a bit better there. Ended up being 5 power by the end. Wasn't too bad. Let's take our 3rd game. Can we have a positive record with this incredibly cool Pool 2 Sandman deck? Would like to draw the Sandman part and show you a little bit about what that's going to do for us here. Let's see. Okay, all the 1-drops this time, including Ebony Moore. So we're going to have to be careful about where we play this. Good with the Sandman, though. Okay. So the plan here probably going to be draw another 1-drop, I think, is probably the plan. Okay, let's hope to draw another 1-drop and we can just stack a location with all 1s and Ebony Moore, and then look to have Sandman slow our opponent down. Especially if we could do it in the Baxter building. That would be quite cool. We do. Okay. Alright. Let's just go for maximum stats in the middle early. And then hopefully Sandman can lock that off. That would be cool. No plays from our opponent so far. Ugh. Leck is not particularly nice. So Ebony Moore this turn. Click. Hopefully this 16 is enough to lock off the Baxter building. That would be quite nice. Okay, Sandman into nowhere. Let's turn off more than 1 card a turn. Then hopefully ka-zar and Claw can do a really good job at giving us extra stats moving forward. Great curve here. Definitely showing what the deck is trying to do. Gambit taking away 1 of our bodies takes away a lot of power from Baxter building here. It's a little bit concerning. Flips into a swarm. Okay. Sadly, Sandman going to stop us from doing both ka-zar and Squirrel Girl here. Squirrel Girl potentially quite powerful on the final turn of the game, actually. Because it will give us a body back into the Baxter building our opponent might not be expecting. Spider-Woman is quite nasty. Baxter building being taken away from us. Briefly, it is back when the Juggernaut comes back. So do we just claw here? Is that the consensus? Hopefully the +6 is enough. +6 is a lot more than +5, right? Well, +4. Alright. Claw it is. I do think we're good here, so I'm going to take the risk of snapping. Opponent wants none of it. Good stuff. Positive record with this very sweet deck. That last game showing you the power of Sandman for sure. Can't argue with that. Very, very good stuff. Yeah, sweet one here, I think. Seninha is definitely onto something. Kind of abusing the cheap bodies here alongside Sandman. Early power, then stopping your opponent from playing multiple big cards seems like a good way to go about slowing them down, especially in Pool 2 and Pool 3. So if that's something you're interested in, this might very well be the deck for you. Guys, thank you very much for checking out the content. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for all those lovely folks that have subscribed already and come to join us as a big old group over here at Marvel Snap Zone. Until next time, I have been HowlingMines, you have been amazing, and this has been Marvel Snap Zone. Have a good one.